talk about today. Please get ready to take notes. What I want you to write down first is, what is your vision of your ideal life? So write the question in present tense, direct it to yourself. In other words, I want you to write down, what is my vision of my ideal life? You know, it's kind of obvious that we would spend time doing this, and the reality is very few people do. Most people don't. You know, Zig Ziglar used to refer to those people as wandering generalities. You want to be a wandering generality, you want to be a meaningful specific. All right, so the theme of today's coaching call is how to get from where you are to where you want to be. I have three major points that I want to touch on today. Number one, in order to get where you want to be, you need to know two things. The two things you need to know, please write it down, is where are you today? Simple question. Where are you? Next question. Where do you want to get to? Where would you like to go? What would you like your life to look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now? Your vision is a detailed description of where you want to get to. It describes in detail what your destination looks like and feels like. So I want you to take a piece of paper and I want you to draw 4 boxes, line down, vertical line, horizontal line, close them in, create 4 boxes. Now you can make the conversation about anything you want to make it about. And for today's conversation, I chose work, family, money, and significance. Now, like I said, you can put anything you want inside any of these boxes. And now here's how the exercise goes. It's 5 years from now on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being awesome. You're living your ideal life. What does that look like in the work box? We're going to fill in each of these boxes. It's 5 years from now, and you are living the life you want to live in 5 years. You got where you wanted to go. You know where you are, and you got where you wanted to go. And it's ideal. What does that look like in your work life? Write down as many things as you can think of. It's important. Then we're going to move over to the family box, and we're going to ask the same questions. It's 5 years from now, and you're living your ideal life with important relationships with your family. What does that look like? What does the destination look like? You know, Stephen Covey in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People teaches to begin with the end in mind. And to begin with the end in mind simply means, at the end of this journey, what does my life look like? All right. The third box I chose is money. And the question is, what does that box look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What does that box look like if you're living your ideal life? This is an exercise that I did recently. Matter of fact, I've worked on it for the past 2 years. Note to self, note to you, don't take as long as I did. And I didn't really like the answers that I was getting, because when I asked myself, where do I want to be? What does that look like? And it's not about being rich or anything like that, even though that's cool and there's nothing wrong with that. For me, it was about significance, and it was about creating legacy income that would support my family if anything were to happen to me. Now, I knew what that looked like. I knew what I wanted. I wanted to get to a place where if anything were to happen to me, I've created multiple streams of income that are going to outlive me, that will provide for my family if anything were to happen to me. So I've created a future where I'm earning $1 million a year through passive income. Now that income survives me if anything were to happen to me, in order to support Monica, my kids, my grandson, to make a difference in the world. And then I asked myself, where are you? Boy, I really didn't like that answer. All right. The fourth box I want you to look at is significance. What kind of difference are you making in the world? Whose life are you impacting for good? Are you living a life to make this world better when you leave it than it was when you got here? what does that look like? All right, so what you've just done, it's called future self exercise. And what we're doing is we're creating the future self of what we want to look like. Now, at this point in the journey, it's not important to know how you are going to get there. You know where you want to go. That's the point. How you're going to get there is not important at this point. All that is important is that you figure out where there is. When you get clear on the what, the how will show up. Boy, please write that down. When you get clear on the what, the how will show up. Second major point I want to talk to you about today is follow your inner global positioning system, your GPS. So here's how a GPS works. The process of getting from where you are to where you want to be is like using the navigational system known as your GPS. For this system to work, it simply needs to know where you are and where you want to go. When you type in your destination, the navigational system plots a perfect course. Oh boy, write that down. So important. When you type in the destination, the navigational system will plot a perfect course for you. And all you have to do is follow the instructions. So important. Did you hear me? It's going to plot a perfect course for you, and all you have to do is follow the instructions. So how do you do this? Okay, so how you do this is through goal setting. It's through affirmations. It's through visualization, and it's start moving in the right directions. It's through goal setting. It's through affirmations. It's through visualization. Visualize where you want to be. How is that going to feel? What is your life going to look like when you get there? And start moving in that direction. Think progress, don't think perfection. Now, there's a super cool story that I want to share for you from Jack Canfield's Success Principles. This is a book that I had to go find on my shelf when I was preparing for this. And I remember this story, and I was like, this is a story. I got to share this. All right, don't let anyone talk you out of your vision. That is our third major point. Don't let anyone talk you out of your vision. All right. There are people who will try to talk you out of your vision. They will tell you that you are crazy and that it can't be done. There will be those who will laugh at you and try to bring you down to their level. My friend, Monty Roberts, the author of The Man Who Listens to Horses, calls these people dream stealers. When Monty was in high school, his teacher gave the class the assignment to write about what they wanted to do when they grew up. Monty wrote that he wanted to own his own 200-acre ranch and raise thoroughbred racehorses. His teacher gave him an F and explained that the grade reflected that he deemed the dream unrealistic. The teacher deemed the dream unrealistic and gave him an F. Gave him an F for thinking too big. No boy, the teacher went on to explain to Monty Roberts, no boy who was living in a camper on the back of a pickup truck would ever be able to amass enough money to buy a ranch, purchase breeding stock, pay the necessary salaries for ranch hands. When he offered Monty the chance of rewriting his paper for a higher grade, Monty told him, you keep the F, I'll keep my dream. Today, Monty's 154-acre Flag is Up Farms in California raises thoroughbred racehorses and trains hundreds of horse trainers in a more humane way to join up with and train horses. Wow. All right, so I have some questions that I want you to write down. I want you to think about. This is number 4 for the day, and then I'm going to ask you to talk to me. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Next question, why? Why is that important to you? Next question, how long are you willing to keep going before you give up? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Why is that important to you? And how long are you willing to go before you give up? The next question, what changes will you have to make to get where you want to go? You keep doing what you've been doing, expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity. So you're clearly going to have to make changes. Simple question, what changes am I going to have to make in order to get where I want to go? Going back to my exercise that I went through in order to determine where I wanted to be. And then ask myself the question, where am I? And the next thing I asked is, what changes am I going to have to make in order to get where I want to go? Next question I want you to write down is, what obstacles are there between where you are and where you want to be? What obstacles are between where you are and where you want to be? What are the obstacles that you know exist between where you are and where you want to be? What are the obstacles that you don't know about that you possibly are going to have to overcome in order to get where you want to be? And then the last question is, what if you discover you are in the wrong vehicle to get where you want to go? Now what? What if you discover that you are in the wrong vehicle in order to get where you want to go? Now what? Jeff, Stephanie thinks your hat is ugly. So sorry about that. Ohio State Buckeye fan, obviously. Stephanie, I think Michigan beat Ohio State this year. Sorry, don't mean to rub it in. All right, I want you to talk to me. And while you're getting ready to speak to me, just give me a moment. And I'm going to ask you to take yourself off mute and just talk to me. I want to give you a concept that's kind of just my thought on how this works. And you may agree, and if you don't agree, that's cool. Really okay with that. To me, that destination where you want to be, you already are. Now, let me explain. If you look at time the way we look at time, the way I look at time, the way you look at time, we look at time linear. In other words, here we are, there's where we want to be 5 years from now, and it's a straight line. And are we going to get there? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But what if you were to look at time from 100 miles in the sky? What if you were to look at time the way God looks at time? The same yesterday, today, and forever. The Alpha and Omega, the beginning and end, literally standing at the beginning of time and present time and at the end of the time, all at the same time. Now, if you could look at time that way and you knew that you're where you want to be, your destination is assured, you've already got there. You're standing on the finish line. All you have to do is complete the journey. Would it change what you would do? Are there things that you want to do that you're not doing because you're afraid that you might fail, that you would do if you knew you would reach the destination? And then what if you already have? All right. Talk to me, guys.
What if you're absolutely sure that you're in the right vehicle?
Keep going.
Imagine where you can go.
Yeah, that's 100% right, Jeff. Um, Keep going. Yeah, that's absolutely a great question. I'm glad you asked it. Just keep going.
Yeah, I'm positive I'm with the right team and the right vehicle, and I'm excited.
Love that. Thank you for sharing that. By the way, me too.
Good.
All right, who's next? Talk to me.
What if you are unsure of where you want to be in 5 years because you don't know the path to get there?
Oh, that's such a
It's not the path really, but you're unsure exactly what you want in 5 years.
okay. Those are two different questions. So let me go
Okay.
and ask you which one is it, Beth?
Okay.
Because and don't and think for a moment. Don't just respond. Be honest with me. There's nobody else here but you and I. Is it truly you don't know where you want to go, or is what you said the first time correct? Is it because you're unsure of the path?
I'm unsure. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, so when I'm writing down work, I'm thinking of, a team and then having these people on the team and a community of sorts, but I'm unsure if that's really what I want or not.
Okay, good. Thank you for sharing that with me. So good, so honest. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're starting with the path. What you just gave me was I'm thinking of the path to get where I want to go. And because I'm unsure of the path, I'm unsure of the destination. Forget the path, forget how you're going to get there. Take it out of your mind. Start with the what, the how will show up.
Got it. It's almost like I've heard in the past you can start with almost the feeling of completion and sit with that feeling like it's already done, and then the rest will line up to create that.
When the 100%, when you have a destination in your mind that you're passionate about, okay, this is so important because passion is the fuel that will get you there. When you have a destination that you are passionate about, you'll burn the boats. You won't leave yourself an exit strategy. It's either I'm going to get there or I'm going to die. Now the how will show up. By the way, hire a coach. The coach will help you with the how. I get this in the mail yesterday. One of the reasons I love being a coach is just getting little thank you cards like this. This came from an agent who does more than $40 million a year. He has 3 coaches. I'm one of them. I'm sharing that for a reason, guys. If he can have 3 coaches, you can have one. Okay. And it's a thank you card telling me about the difference that I've made for him. This guy's not a new agent. He's doing $40 million plus a year. He's been in the business for 30 years and he sends me Dory too, right? Just keep swimming. And this guy has made major breakthroughs in the last 3 years, last 3 months, excuse me. And it's so much fun to be a part of that journey. Beth, I help him with the how. He knows what the why is. He knows what the where is. It's my job to help him with here's how you do it. Okay. One more, guys. Okay, so Kiara, what if you're just unsure of the destination together? That's a common question, by the way, Kiara. Thank you for asking that. A lot of people are. Okay. And depending on where you are in your life, and I'm referring to age, and I'm also referring to your journey. That vision may be harder to find than it will be at other times. Now, I can tell you for me, it's crystal clear. The way I look at life, I have 10 years left to live. I have 10 years left to work. I have 10 years left to reach the destination. And I am so crystal clear on what that destination is. And it's all about making sure that I've created a legacy to leave behind for my wife and children when I'm gone. That's it. Nothing else matters. Don't care about houses, boats, cars, stuff, vacations, all of the awards, trophies, all of that other stuff that was so important to me at one time doesn't matter anymore. Now, what I would simply ask you to do, Kiera, is just grab your journal. I'm always going to have a journal close by because I write in this every day and I write in it several times a day. And anytime I stop and think, I get my journal out and I start writing. I would just ask you to sit down in your journal and ask really good questions. The better the questions, the better the answers. If you don't like the answers that you're getting, you're asking the wrong question. Ask better questions.
Okay. I think that's something I always struggle with. Because I'm young. I'm only 26 and I'm a newer agent. So like everyone has like their 5-year plan. I'm like, I don't know. I just got into real estate, So and people, the common question is, oh, why did you get into real estate? And I feel like most people have like this elaborate answer. And I'm like, mine isn't that deep, So I don't know. I just always get stuck with where I want to be in 5 years because I'm also the person who doesn't believe you can only have one career because real estate is not my end goal,
Sure.
So yeah, it's a struggle.
It's not mine either, Kiera.
Yeah, like I plan to go to law school in 2 years, so.
Yeah. My end goal is you. It's changing lives. It has nothing to do with real estate. Now, the only thing I would encourage you to do is just let your imagination go wild and think of where could you possibly be 5 years from now or 10 years from now? What does that look like? What are you doing that you're currently not doing? Who are you that you're currently not? It's be, do, have. Who do I need to become? What do I need to do in order to have the things that I want to have, or do the things that I want to do, or make the difference that I want to make? Just keep thinking bigger. All right. Who's next? I know I said,
hey, John,
but I just knew Angel wanted to get in here and talk to me.
Yeah. So I wanted to say, the question she just asked, this used to be hard for me too, to try to figure, okay, where do I want to be? Is it, it's not a lot, it's not that deep, and that's okay. That's what I had to understand and realize, that where I want to be 5 years, it could be anything. I think the point is, and the purpose is to write something down. So you have some kind of direction and just have as much fun with it as possible. It doesn't have to be some big grand thing. Just write something and just have fun with it. And I think that's the point, because she was just saying,
Oh, Angel, your signal froze.
And don't be so restricted because it's your. I got frozen. I'm sorry.
It's me.
Oh.
Not you.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to add.
It's good stuff. Thank you for sharing that. All right, guys, I hope you got great value. It's 8:59. I have another coaching call I'm going to jump on in, 60 seconds. Make today a great day. Win the day. All right. All you could do in order to get where you want to be is just win the day. All you could do is all you could do. And all you can do is enough. When you do, all you could do. Think about that. All right. Make it a great day, everybody.
This is the fastest 30 minutes.
Did it go by fast? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good thing. It means I didn't bore you guys to death.
No, you did not.
All right. Make it a great day, everybody. Love you guys.
You too. I love you.
Go get them. Angel, give your little baby a hug from me.
Okay, I will.
All right. Love that. Love that talking in magic. Just magic.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. You know, it's funny when we have children, first child, Angel,
Hmm.
when we have children, we can't wait for them to start walking and talking so we can tell them to sit down and be quiet.
Exactly. It's backwards. I know, it's true.
All right. Go make it a great day.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.